was actually very tight knit. But also, like, it actually helped me branch out of that too, which was actually very beneficial in the long run. Like in the entire, when I look back on like my college experience, honestly, like being in a fraternity was very beneficial, and I can say that for a fact. Yeah.
What's like some of the like requirements? Like, is there any like requirements? Because I never really looked into that process or know how that looks like. Like, do you need to have? I'm like, if I had to assume, like, that has to be some sort of like GPA, right? They have to maintain.
Well, no, yeah. Well, of course, yeah. You have to maintain a specific GPA, but I mean, like the way that like most fraternities and sororities too, the same way that they always rush is basically like honestly, like you don't want to be around people that you don't vibe with. So that's why they give you like an entire rush week. So you actually get to meet all these people that want to join fraternities. So you can actually go out and meet them and be like, yo, like actually I really like you. You're actually really cool. Like everybody in the fraternity actually meets all these new people. And then like if you don't vibe with that specific person, you're like, nah, we don't want to invite you to our fraternity. But like if everybody like maybe like in the conglomerate of the entire fraternity says like, hey, this one guy is like super cool. Like let's invite him to come to our fraternity. But he might get invites to maybe like three or four other fraternities. It's up to him to choose.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, you gotta really answer this clearly, but is there a lot of hazing like nowadays, like within like those fraternity communities? Because I know, like looking at like those college party movies, you see like all these scenes where, the college games, they're like punking on the new rookies and they're putting them to like these trials of shit of qualifying for the fraternity. I mean, is that really like when you went? I don't know. That was like a couple years ago, right? Like early 2010s.
No. So I graduated UCR in 2011. So no, but like that was kind of normal though. Like I mean, but it wasn't like honestly, if anything was like out of line, I feel like any of us would have been just like, yo, like we're done. We don't want to be here. Like like honestly, if anything was like fucked up, like was it like really bad, any of us would have been just like, no, like we're not going to be here.
I've thought about it too because I know a lot of people they try to get into fraternities to be like accepted in a social group.
Yeah.
So I've always wondered like how
most of it was basically just drinking. I'll tell you that. Like from my experience, it was basically just like week after week after week of just drinking and just basically seeing what your tolerance was.
Yeah, because
that's literally what it was. That's literally what it was.
Because damn, like I hear stories of people just they go to the max just to get accepted to this fraternity, and I think about it like, damn, if I were to ever like go through any of these particular hazing, like I'm not the kind of person to stick it out if it means like I'm endangering my life. Like this for me being in a fraternity doesn't like it's not really that serious for me to like put myself just some crazy challenges and like
well the reality is like honestly I've never had a problem with making friends, and like honestly if I have to do something like over the top to make friends, then I'm just like nah.
I feel it.
Nah.
Like it's just too much. Like it's just too much of demands out of you.
No. But basically, like I'm saying, like going through the trials of fraternity was basically not that bad. It was basically like them testing your alcohol tolerance, and then really that's literally what it was. Week after week, they were testing your alcohol tolerance and seeing if you're gonna stick around. Basically, they were just looking for drinking buddies. That's basically what they were looking for.
Damn.
What about weed tolerance? Because now
I wouldn't
know like, that shit.
My entire fraternity was basically a bunch of weed heads and alcoholics.
Damn, I feel like I would have
Were you DJing at the time too, or was this, was DJing that came after?
No. Well, DJing came as a consequence of being in the fraternity. Because I met somebody in the fraternity who actually put me on to electronic music, because like growing up I was always very musical, and I never like honestly I never considered electronic music as like a serious like music expression. But then like once I got my buddy Paul into the fraternity, he was like a hardcore raver, which is very funny because like.
And you weren't at the time.
No, at the time, no, because like I was always very musical, like I said, so I always listened to music, and I was always like, I was always been instrumental in everything. But once Paul got into the fraternity, he was the one that introduced me to electronic music. and it's funny because like he got into electronic music. I don't know. He's just like he was just always like a very energetic person, and he used to go to raves all the time. But like he's literally never taken a drug in his entire life. He literally just goes off of his natural energy, and he always used to be like a massive shuffler and everything. Like he just goes off of natural energy. He just loves electronic music just because he loves electronic music, and he introduced it to me, and like I started falling in love too because of him, because of his energy. Like, yeah.
What was some of the first kind of dance music genres you were coming across? Like, was it like trance, progressive house? Trance?
Yeah, like the number one song was ATB Ecstasy immediately.
Oh, yeah, that was
basically my introduction into electronic music.
All right.
Yeah.
And then that came to DJing as well?
Coincidentally, actually, Paul was a DJ too. So he learned off of vinyl. So then I think our sophomore year, he actually ended up transferring. But before he ended up transferring to like Chicago or somewhere, he was like, "Yo, like I have these vinyl players. If you want to just like hold on to them for me," I was like, "Yeah, dude, fuck it, yeah, I'll hold on to them." And then I basically learned off of vinyl from the stuff that he like left for me.
Damn, do you remember the kind of vinyl players it was? Like, was it Techniques
yeah, they were Techniques. Yeah.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't remember exactly which ones they were, but like he left them for me, so like that's what I learned off of.
What kind of vinyls were you messing with? Was it like a lot of house vinyls, like rap, hip hop? What kind of vinyls?
No. Basically, they were like the electronic ones. So basically, like I would play off of Serato, like on a laptop.
Oh, the timecode ones.
Yeah,
you're talking about those.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Damn. So you were running on Scratch Live.
Yeah.
Doing the whole like the SO1.
Yeah.
Scratch ball. Yeah. Damn.
So I learned like straight off the bat, like just like straight off of vinyl, like yeah.
DVS.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So did you start straight out? You said Scratch Live. So Serato.
Yeah.
What do you use now?
No, I just basically just use CDJs now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just honestly, it's like so easy. It's like so integrated. Like everything is like, it's very easy to go, like ready to go. Like, and I also have some at home too, so it's easy.
Yeah. So that's what you use at home. If you had like if Record Box wasn't like standard at clubs and whatnot, what would you prefer using?
What I prefer using. No, because honestly, like working off of vinyl is actually very fun. It really is because it's a totally different experience from just like working off of like the digital. Because the digital is very easy because it gives you like everything like face to face. Like
Facts.
you have like all these little screens that tell you exactly where everything is, and you can like line it up. But like working off of vinyl is a completely different experience. Like you can actually feel the music as you're playing it too. And it's a way lot harder to actually beat match too.
You know, you're definitely right. I just DJ'd this past weekend at the Continental in Fullerton, and they asked for house music, right? Yeah. But I was playing off of some techniques, and I was using DVS, so I was using like the phases for the time code. But beat matching house music was such a pain in the ass, bro.
Like on vinyl?
Yeah, especially when like I had to adjust the BPMs just a little bit, bro.
Yeah.
And even if it was centered, both tracks were centered, they would still be going off. So I'm just like, fuck, bro.
That's one thing I have noticed working on turntables is the BPM, like the tempo. Like it's not always accurate. Like especially when you put it in the middle, like it'll kind of just like. The number will fluctuate.
I mean, especially with vinyl because it always starts wavering though.
Yeah,
it's all mechanical. That's
the motor, bro. That's literally the motor. Yeah. That's what
mechanical,
it's doing.
Which is completely different from digital. Digital is like it's very it's very straight. It's very straightforward. You know exactly what you're gonna get.
It's a flat signal.
Yeah.
Compared to vinyl, it's whatever the needle's like translating from whatever it's like surfacing.
Yeah. And you know where I think I fucked up the most is. Instead of just using regular slip mats like I should have, I used butter slip mats, bro, because I like scratching. So that's what I like using. So I was like, nah, I'm taking these. I want more movement in the turntable. fuck no. I should have had regular thick ass fucking slip mats so my vinyl was staying still. Because bro, even if I just kind of nudged it, my vinyl was flying. So I was like, fuck.
You know, I had a homie that would use aluminum foil.
It helps, I guess.
But I remember he had like aluminum, like it was like carved out in the shape of a fucking like slip mat.
No, I imagine that has like a lot of like basically like there's basically no friction between like the record and the aluminum.
I know people would use like cookie sheets. They'd use that. They'd cut it and then put it on there.
Yeah, like
because
it's basically the same idea. Yeah, the same idea. Yeah, there's like no friction though.
Yeah, because you just want it just to
spin. It's physics. It's basically physics.
You want it to spin faster than how it's spinning. The motor spinning it. You feel me? You want to be able to just like move it around and I don't know. I definitely think it's harder using vinyl to DJ EDM.
Without a doubt, 100%.
At least with like CDJs, you could be accurate, like 100% accurate. I could push sync and I'm done here.
Yeah.
With vinyl, you can't really do that.
You know, speaking on that shit real quick, I won't get back to you, but I'm tired of DJs complaining, playing live shows, and they're like, the DJ before me needs to reset that shit for me by default. It's like, nah, homie. I don't believe in that shit. No. Like, I think if you're playing a particular places, you should know. I mean, you try to know the gear that you're. Like, don't ever assume that the DJ before you is gonna reset or default the gear for you. Like, I think before you start playing your music,
it kind of sounds entitled, honestly.
No. I mean, it does. Like, it does come from a particular angle, but I firmly believe that you should just take a deep breath, look at the mixer, look at the gear. If you don't use sync,
figure it out.
If you don't use sync, the sync button is on. Okay, turn that shit off.
It's always on.
Turn that shit off.
It's always on.
Always assume the sync button is on.
Yeah, I think so. No, honestly, bro, always assume it's on.
Yeah. The reality is, like, honestly, when you go up to the stage and like you're going up to the whole console, just like figure it out. Because you don't know who else was playing before you. You don't know their settings. Just figure it out.
And also, if there's like
figure it out.
If there's a DJ like playing before you, just watch what he's doing when he closes out. Just like, okay, that's what he did.
It's like just like those little micro details that would make I guess like a show much more smoother. I mean, a lot of times like the audience doesn't really know, but it's much more so like just the frustration that I see like online from performers like. Oh, like I hate that the performers before me, like they leave the sync on and I have to deal with that shit. It's like, nah, bro, like take a deep breath, look at the gear. If the buttons that you don't use are turned on, turn them off. Like, cause I know like you're on stage, like you have that rush. Like I feel that shit. Like you want to play that banger that's like right there in first order. Like I get that. I've been there, and I sometimes struggle with this shit too. That's why I say this like naturally and genuinely like. When you're up there, like playing, like take a deep breath. If you know how you mix and all that, definitely look at the gear, look at the mixer. Like it literally like
it really only takes like a couple minutes.
A couple seconts, bro. Yeah. If anything, like not even minutes, like literally just 10 seconds to look down. Okay, sync's on. I don't use sync. Turn them off. Yeah. Like literally stuff like that.
Turn them off and then move the fucking pitch bend up and down.
Okay, that's okay. So that's one thing I did want to. Thank you for bringing that up. I was literally not gonna say that. Like definitely just grab the pitch
up and down,
and then just like go crazy up and down, and it'll reset the.
No, well, yeah.
Because I've noticed that when you turn off the sync and you try to just like slowly. It doesn't do. Anyway, I'm fucking DJ geeking out right now. Like this is some CDJ shit, but I don't know. I just had to say that.
No, that's actually definitely happened to me before because like I've opened for somebody and they've immediately talked shit about me later on Twitter, and I've seen it, and I was like, okay, I know who you are, and I was like, I mean, okay, I'll say that name anyways. It's Angelz, and Angelz is always known for being very outspoken. You know Angelz?
He's very vocal on Twitter, right?
Very vocal, yeah. So I opened for him once, and I basically just like I was basically doing what an opener should do, and then
what does an opener? What should an opener do?
Basically, bring up the energy for the headliner.
Cool. All right, for sure. Okay.
Yeah. So I basically brought up the energy in the room for the headliner, which is Angelz, and then later on Twitter, he like complained. He was like, "Oh, kind of sucks when you go to a spot and like." Your opener like bangs it out, blah blah blah, and I was like, dude, like really, like
Oh, like he believed that you went like all out.
Yeah. And I
When-
was like, dude, like I really was just trying to help you out. Like,
Oh.
yeah. But like I know but the reality is I knew that from him that he's always really outspoken, so I didn't take it personally. I was like, this is who he is.
Yeah.
He always likes to complain. Like this is who he is. Like I'm like, all right, whatever.
Sometimes this is part of like their persona.
Yeah.
A part of like I guess maybe like their brand. They're
Yeah.
like just going double.
No, but I also responded to him. I was like, yeah, like honestly, I respect you, blah blah blah. Like and
Oh, so you responded? Like, let him know that you were the opener.
no, that's what I'm telling you. Like I
Yeah.
was immediate opener, and I told him I was like, yo, like I brought up the energy for you because I respect you, blah blah blah. But he didn't respond back, obviously.
Oh, so was this like a DM or like a public reply?
No, it's public reply.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I'm not gonna fucking bitch out on that. Like, dude, what the fuck?
was this like a big club venue? Like it was
no,
like
it was somewhere in like Costa Mesa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn. Who else have you opened up for?
Damn, dude, I have to go back a while. No, I've opened up for playing people.
Angelz.
Well, I mean,
There's
Angelz is
Angelz.
probably like one of the biggest.
What year
ones.
was that?
That was like back in like 2018.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pre-pandemic.
When did your actual brand start? You know what? I want to pronounce this right. It's by
Fantom Freq.
Fantom Freq. Okay.
Fantom Freq. Yeah. No,
so-
I have to make sure that's like very correct because like a lot of people when they first meet me, they think that's like Fantom Freq. I'm like, no.
I'm not gonna lie. At first, when
Yeah.
that was like the first, like
Yeah.
when I was like trying to spell shit out,
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
Fantom Freq.
I'm not sure. This doesn't sound right. I can
Yeah.
say something, but okay, it doesn't sound right.
No,
Fantom
it's Fantom
Freq.
Freq.
Oh, okay. This makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
Fantom Freq in the building.
Fantom Freq. Yeah.
Okay. And what year did that start? Fantom Freq.
Fantom Freq started probably around like 20. Well, I started first as a DJ. So I started first as a DJ probably around like 2011. Fantom Freq itself started probably around like 2013. I didn't start producing music until probably like 2015.
Okay.
And like this is where I am right now.
What did you start producing on?
Ableton. And I've still been on Ableton since then.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Have you always done the style of music that you have? Because I've looked at your past catalog. It's a lot of the stuff that you mentioned: house, bass.
No,
house.
like literally, I'm all over the place. Like honestly, like I said, like I told you earlier, like I get really bored just making one style of music. Like if I start making house for too long, I feel like I'm making like the same song over and over again, and I get fucking bored. I'm just like, all right, I need to change it up. So that's the reason why I make like breaks. I make house. I make UK garage. Yeah, I just like try to mix it up. Otherwise, I get bored too easily.
What are some dream labels you want to release on?
Well, obviously Night Base. Like that's like the number one. Number two would be Confession. Number three would be House Call. Other than that, like I've gotten past the point of wanting to get on labels only because like I've been on so many labels, especially like I've been on Insomniac too. I've gotten to the point where like
in rotation.
Yeah, twice actually, and I recognize that like labels don't really do that much for you though.
These days,
they give you some like recognition within like the community, but outside of that, like that's really it.
this is an interesting topic because I think not right now in this day and age, if you know how to properly package your music and know how to campaign it and all that, you could definitely release music just like as a label.
Yeah.
Back then, there wasn't that much history or that much public knowledge to know how to like fully do effective campaigns for your music. But
Yeah.
like you said, like I feel the same way about a lot of labels. They're not putting their full potential, their full marketing efforts on it. Or a lot of times you're not able to really dictate how much of a marketing effort the label does. Because you could be like, yeah, I'm going to do whatever I can, but I want you guys to do this much. And the label's just going to do whatever it's going to do.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. No, and the reality is like, honestly, you can't really dictate what the label is going to do with the music. So like, I've released with so many labels from the point where I know like which labels that I continually want to release with, because I know some labels do a lot more work for you than others will. Because like some labels would just be like, okay, we're gonna slap the artwork on it and like good luck. But other labels would be like, we're gonna put the artwork on it and we're gonna put this all this promotion behind it, and we're gonna give you actually like a good space for it. So those are the labels that I actually like continually send music to. So I'm like, I've gotten to the point where I'm very intentional with who I send music to now.
You know what I think a lot of that is though, like how some labels just like slapping their name on like the artwork and whatnot. I think it's because like they've already passed like their booming point to where it's like we had our time where we were out marketing all our good banging tracks, this and that. And right now, like even if they were to like do a lot of more marketing with one of your tracks, like I don't think it would do as good as like maybe one of these newer labels out here. Because I feel like they know how to promote better.
Yeah.
Like they're a newer label. They know the market better. They know how to promote better.
Yeah.
And like they're coming into like a scene of this is all social media influence, and a lot of these labels now know that. And if you don't really have that big social media push, like I don't really want to. There's no reason why I would want to like release with you anymore because you guys aren't doing that for me.
Yeah, and that's a reality. That's what I'm telling you. Like whenever like I have new music, I'm very intentional with who I want to release it with. So like I have like a full list of who exactly I want to release with you.
Can I ask you this? When you make music, do you make music beforehand knowing, okay, I'm making music and hoping this label accepts it? Or do you make music and then you're like, okay, let's see now what I've made, what label will take it?
No. I never make music with the intention of signing to a label. I basically just make music just because I like making music. And then later on I figure out, okay, this is what I figure like they will like.
Oh, okay. So once you like fully make what you want to make, you're like, okay, this sounds like something this label would like. So I'm gonna try to like I get what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like, that's the reality because it's more authentic that way because like basically you're making stuff for yourself and you're trying to figure out if it works for somebody else.
See, there you go. Yeah. I think like the way like I look at it is like I'm making something that I love or I like, and now I just want to give it to someone who's gonna appreciate it the same way.
Exactly.
And like that's the type of
100%.
label like I'm looking
100%.
for. But 100%. Then there are some labels that I know they're not gonna push it as they should, but I'm gonna market it because I know like it's that label, you know, like
no because you love your own music, obviously.
Yeah, but like a label I would reference because this is a label that I just want to, no matter what, even if they're not a poppin' like label, I want to release on Bygore, right? Even though they're not like promoting super heavy right now, they're not like super deep in like getting new artists and whatnot. They had their time. And that's what I want. I just want to say like, I got that.
No, that's basically what I think about it as now. Like basically, if I get signed in Nightbase, all I think about it is basically just like a trophy, and that's basically what I see as like all of my other label signings now. It's like because I've been signed on Insomniac twice. It's basically just like a trophy,
like Pokemon. You got your badge.
I basically just got my badge. Honestly, that's basically the way I see it. Because like, what are they doing for me? They're like not doing literally nothing.
But see, so like this, because I see it twofolds, right? Like I definitely see like the side we're looking at it right now, but I also see it as like they already have the name. We're already doing you the favor, but now like it's like kind of our job. Like how are we gonna like promote ourselves off of this? Like even though like they're not going to promote it like the way they should. Yeah. It's still their name. You know what? I'm going
to take advantage of the likeness.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm going to take advantage of the opportunity that they're giving me. So
which is what I do every single day.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Like, I agree with that. That although maybe the platform that you're partnered with for a particular opportunity or release, if they're not doing that much work, they're taking much advantage of their likeness.
Right, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. And you know what? My tracks.
And I do, and I always tell, like, just like I said right now, like I do, like I'm an Insomniac artist because I really am. Like,
facts.
Twofold.
You know, on the side I throw shows, right, and a lot of booking agencies they use that as their pitching. Metrics like, oh, this artist released on this particular label. This is a common thing that booking agents use,
of course,
to pitch their artists. Is their affiliation with these labels. This is something that I've noticed, and I know this is one of the reasons why the hunger is out there to be released on certain labels. Like, it makes like And it's also, it opens up my mind too, like how certain situations play out. How there's producers that make what they want to make, they send it to a label, and they genuinely like that shit. And then there's producers that make releases, like for the influence of trying to release on another label. Like now that we're talking, like like I really like the approach of I like what I'm making, and if for example Nightbase fucks with my shit, like that's real cool. But I notice I kind of find myself sometimes making stuff that I definitely want to make, and then sometimes I'm like, damn, I want to release on this label. I'm gonna be making some shit that I think fits this label. Yeah. Like before the project's even written out, like I have the intention, the mentality, like, okay, this project right here, this session, it's for this particular certain label release, and I've noticed the creativity be different. Yeah, for sure, and I definitely want to try to stray away too much from that because I noticed. Yeah. Like again, like being like boxed in for a particular direction for a label, there's certain limitations. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to release on a dubstep label, for sure it's best to make a dubstep track. But I think it's like how you said. I think it's always real dope to be able to make genuinely what you make, and be able to find a home for it that will accept it versus trying to fit trying to fit some shit that you're trying to make for somebody, like for somebody else. Yeah, it's like, hey, I'll fuck with this, but genuinely, it would probably be a little bit different. Yeah, but because I knew intentionally, I was
but the reality is though, if you're gonna try to make something specifically for some person, I don't feel like it would be accepted the same way because I feel like they would also accept it as like it was disingenuous. You know,
but I see this behavior a lot from a lot of producers where I see a lot of tracks that get signed from certain producers to certain labels, and I'm like, damn, this direction is a little different, but it's on this label and it makes sense. Oh no, so, like, but it's kind of like, but then I think about what you say, like how you view of like trying to get on a label, like getting a trophy. Yeah, like I see a lot of artists like just take that direction of like they go in a certain direction in their sound, and they're just trying to get their whatever that reason is to be on that label, like to capitalize on that market or get that validation that they're on this label, whatever that factor is. Like there's just so many reasons, like how music goes.
No, that's definitely the reality of it though, because like I mean, there's so many reasons why labels sign people though, like because I mean, like with even my label, like the reality of my label, everybody I sign on my label is people that I feel like should have more shine that they don't have shine enough. So I sign people that sign like they have like amazing fucking music, but they never like play any shows at all. And like basically the premise of my label is like, yo, like give me your music, I'm gonna put it out there, and we're gonna play shows together.
What's the name of your label?
Thick Freakness.
Thick Freakness?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. No, I named the label after like one of my favorite Black Keys albums, which is Thick Freakness.
Oh, all right, cool.
Yeah. No, because I'm a big like hardcore like blues fan. Like I love like hard rock. Like
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's real cool.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: that you've released on labels and you also have your own label. I've asked this in previous podcast episodes, and I want to know what you think is fair. Mm-hmm. What do you think is a fair percentage in terms of royalties for like a artist that submits music for a label, and label wants this particular kind of percentage, and the artist asking for this kind of percentage? What do you think is a fair percentage between a label and an artist? Like, okay, I'm gonna release with this label, but I want this percentage. What do you think is fair, numbers wise?
Well, I mean, I think
like for your artist, like
no. This is basically coming from both the artist and a label's perspective.
Yeah, because you sit in a unique position. You're on both sides.
Yeah, it's on both sides. So yeah, no, like basically as a new artist, obviously I would give you 50-50. I would give you straight 50-50.
As a new artist, okay.
Yeah, as a new artist. But if you're like a really big artist, I would basically negotiate that because obviously you're gonna get more out of this than I would. You know.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
It basically comes down to the pull of basically either the artist or the label. It comes down to like how much influence the artist or the label has. And
yeah, because it comes down to leverage.
That's basically because
I've always seen like numbers being thrown out. I've always talked to a lot of producers that release on labels. I've picked up a dubstep producer from the airport, famous producer who's been on a famous label. He's told me like his fair share of like what he thinks is fair for an artist and label percentage wise. Like this person particularly had said 70-30.
Yeah.
Label takes 70, artist takes 30. You say 50-50. So like, a lot of this is very interesting because I don't think a lot of people think about this kind of shit of like, and especially too, like knowing like the kind of leverage you might have, especially because I know a lot of times as a new artist, and I've seen this too, where a lot of new artists, they sacrifice a lot of their terms and a lot of their rights to the label because they're new. But I know a lot of times if they were to just ask and just like really exercise and see their flexibilities, I know they could definitely not get away, but they could definitely set terms a lot more towards their direction.
They can definitely ask for more. No, and that's the reality of it.
I think a lot of new producers
especially for new producers. Basically, your main priority is basically just get signed.
For sure, I feel that.
No, and you're not even thinking about the terms. You're not thinking about like how much you're gonna get back because blah blah blah. Honestly, it doesn't matter.
I feel that.
You basically just want to get signed and just want to be out there, and I get that. But eventually, you get to a point where you're just like, honestly, like. I should be making more from my music. So you should come to a point. Anytime you release music with a label, you should actually ask for a contract and actually ask them for basically like what are the terms, which percentage, and then for how long. Because sometimes they can hold on to your track for like 10, 15 years. You could probably bring that down to like 5 years. So you can own your track basically after 5 years.
No, yeah, for sure. And that's the other thing too, going back to it, like with new producers and artists that signing like their pretty much all their rights, they're mastering to their label. Yeah. A lot of times I think that because I've been that new producer, that new artist that's gotten that label approval of like, oh, we're down to accept the demo as a label release. And I signed the masters of like my track, whatever, because I wanted to get the validation of being on the label and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
But I know I'm looking back now. I'm like, damn, it wouldn't have hurt to have asked.
No,
at least like, oh, you know what? Like,
it does not hurt to ask.
It does not hurt. Honestly, it does not hurt to ask like certain demands. If you wanted to at least like if you were giving all your master away, you could have at least asked like, you know what? Fuck it, 20%, or just trying out, like negotiating, like and experience.
No, because the reality is like most labels, they need you. Like they
need catalog.
No, but you don't need them. You don't need the labels. The labels need you.
For sure.
No, because you're the product.
For sure.
Yeah. So I just want everybody to know that. Like basically, like you are the product. Like you have the negotiating power. You can say no. You can legitimately say no. Take your music to somebody else. So I want everybody to know that, like.
Yeah, well, I think it's easier to be like that now versus back then.
Yeah,
because like I said, now it's an independent market.
Especially starting out. Yeah,
for sure, starting out, I think you have much more independency, and you have much more resources as an independent artist to really push yourself, like how a label should push you. But it's just one of those things where you want to release on a label. Nowadays, that's had like good reputation. Like you're going back on Bygor, like that channel has like a big following, but the way they used to promote versus now, like it's very different. I'll just say that it's very different.
No, but it's also the same with like most of the big labels. Even like with even like Nightbase and like Confession, like which are like the top two labels that I want to be on. The promotion that goes back into them now as opposed to maybe like 5 years ago is completely different.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Like I think like the way there's certain labels, like their name really carries a lot of weight.
It is now.
Yeah, their name carries a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So they don't really gotta, I'm not saying like above and beyond with content, like to like maintain the campaign of a release, but like they can literally just be like
it's like, what we did. Check my catalog.
Exactly.
It's out there.
Like they don't gotta do a crazy ass like visual reel of a showcase. Hey, we're dropping some shit tomorrow. Like tune in, and like it's night-based. It's certified.
They drop, people are gonna check.
Exactly.
And you could be part of that rotation.
Honestly, we should go back to the wild Est era of SoundCloud. Just straight SoundCloud.
Well, let's talk about the
Wild.
I know a particular Wild
West.
Remember when SoundCloud had groups?
Yeah.
Like you were able to submit your track to these groups and people would check it out. Like that was one way to really promote your music is being in these SoundCloud groups. I mean, I got into SoundCloud
Damn, we're
maybe
old.
08, 09. Yeah, I got into SoundCloud maybe 08, 09. For sure.
Talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
What's your favorite streaming platform, bro? Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music?
Honestly, I
Pandora,
really,
huh? You like Pandora?
My guy said Pandora. I'm fucking.
no.
use
Honestly,
Pandora.
I like none of those. But no, honestly, I don't really like Spotify at all. I only just put my music out there only because I know most people like Spotify.
Sure, I mean, I have that access.
But by far, I love YouTube. YouTube by far has the best algorithm because anytime I listen to music, because honestly, like my day to day listening is completely different from like what I produce. So I listen to like mostly like grunge, and I also listen to a lot of like new age, like just like what would you describe it as? I'm asking you. Yeah, like what would you describe it like? What I listen to nowadays, like Mac DeMarco, like
Oh yeah, indie.
like indie. Okay, yeah.
Mac
So like
DeMarco's the
indie.
shit.
So like no, I basically listen to like a lot of like not electronic music, and like the YouTube algorithm is so on point. It always gives me like new artists. I'm like, dude, I never heard of this person before,
This is
and they're
slapping.
it's fucking amazing.
You listen
It's
to
so
Yellow
good.
Days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, dude, literally,
Fucking
the YouTube algorithm
Puma
is
Blue?
on
dude.
point, and like the YouTube, the Spotify algorithm is literally not the same. No, but like what the Spotify algorithm has on YouTube is that Spotify is always on point with like new music. So whenever like new releases come out, it's on point. It's like this is what's new. It's coming out. Blah blah blah. Like we'll give it to you.
Do you have YouTube Premium?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, because I have YouTube. Bro, I'm on the same page with you right now.
Yeah.
Like YouTube
You
is pretty
understand?
much
You understand?
all I use for my music and everything, other than SoundCloud, right?
Yeah.
And I only pay for premium because I know they put the albums, like pretty much the primo albums, the same night that all the other streaming platforms do. So like specifically, and
Look
I
at
get
you.
and I get no ads, bro. What you mean? Like, fuck these ads.
Honestly, I'll tell you by far, in my experience, YouTube has the best streaming platform, but it's very underutilized. I feel like everybody always goes to
EDM, I think
everybody goes to Spotify because it's like it's the hype. It's like everybody's like, oh yeah, this is what it is. But like legitimately, like YouTube has the best algorithm by far.
I also think like a lot of people in like the EDM industry don't really see YouTube as like that viable option because like it's also a visual platform, right?
Yeah, no, but they also have like a music app.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you use the music. I don't like.
Yeah.
I have the music app. I don't
Yeah.
really go on it like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I see you.
No, but it's specifically used just for that, just for music, and it's fucking amazing.
Got you. Yeah.
You know, it's crazy that not many people use Spotify. Like, and when I say many, I say millions. Like, I personally don't know any people that use Amazon Music, but Amazon Music has millions of subscribers every month.
Yeah.
You know, type shit. Like,
I think they just
it
have
has
a
me-
million subscribers every month because it comes with your Amazon Prime
Oh, like,
package.
okay,
You
okay.
feel me? Like they're
You know
just
what?
fucking with
Okay,
us.
that makes sense.
I don't think people
I
really.
They're
okay.
inflating. They're inflating.
Who
it.
the
They're
fuck
inflating
says,
it.
"Hey, check out my music on Amazon Music"? I've never heard that shit. Like,
Hey, check that new Lotto on Amazon Music.
Nah,
Like, nah,
like,
bro. Like,
I've never
I checked that shit on Apple Music, bro.
check out that new Joyride on Amazon Music. Like, that shit don't happen,
No,
bro.
that really doesn't happen.
Yeah, I don't think so. But I just want to get back to the whole YouTube like visual thing. I think people don't use it like that because making visuals for EDM, it's a dope thing, right? But it's very like expensive and hard to do by yourself. And I think those two things are something that producers specifically don't really either have time for or the fucking capital for, you know? So that's why we're not that big of a base on YouTube yet.
No,
Yeah.
for sure. No, I
I
totally.
know like these tweaker producers now are starting to get on Blender and do some shit. So
Yeah.
we might see it soon. But I definitely think YouTube is gonna be one of the platforms that EDM starts popping on more. Like Flume's really like good on that, like putting visuals to his music. Who else is good to that? White Knight Ganja's really good to that. Like there's certain same, right? There's certain artists that are really good at it, but like, and that's why I think they're popping because they're utilizing that aspect of their music. You know, I don't know. That's just something that I really like.
Yeah, you know, like let me ask this: would Excision be as big as he is if it wasn't for the visual aspect? Because a lot of his branding and his performance comes of like his visual display.
Yes.
Back
then, it didn't matter. I don't think because he was. Just
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I like for just not just for Excision, like the whole.
But the reality is it's kind of spectacle. So like yeah, honestly, like I feel like it created definitely a different aspect of him, which made him even like a higher commodity than he would have been before
for entertainment and shit.
Yeah,
I feel that.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because back then I used to think like, damn, how come this many people are spending so much on production, especially for visual production? But it makes all the difference.
No, because they get so much money back.
Yeah, the experience for the consumers and people that go out versus they see somebody that doesn't really have like that big spectacular visual experience. Like you could definitely you hear the opinions and the feedback, and the performer that has like the visuals, they're gonna get a lot more of that positive feedback. Yeah. Oh yeah, like I was much more engaged and much more entertained.
Like the reality, like the same thing, like Deadmau5 when he had the cube and stuff. Like same thing.
True.
Oh, that is true.
Let me ask you something. Do you do a lot of self releases?
Well, basically, that's the entirety of my label. Yeah. Is like just mostly self releases and like compilations. Yeah.
So can I ask you like what's your process of like self-releasing like a single track? What's that look like for you at least?
No, so basically what a self-release looks like for me is I mean I write a lot of the music by myself, so and I also do like a lot of collaborations.
So
I'm basically like just like constantly writing.
Let's start off with track finished already. Like, what's the process after that now?
Basically, I send it off to like my top tier labels. Like like I said earlier, I have gold labels. So like send them to them first, and I basically just go down the tiers. If they don't accept it, they don't accept it. They don't accept it. They don't accept it. It comes to a point where like I don't want to send it to like these other labels that I know that they're not going to do shit for it. Go to the point where I'm just going to release it to myself. Because I know I'm going to give it that love and attention that it deserves. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, got you.
Basically what it is.
So, say you get to that point, like then what's like the next step? Like artwork, what do you like do to get like...
Oh yeah, so artwork, yeah. So like I contract, I have this girl that lives out in Washington, D.C. She's been there since the beginning of the label. I contracted her since the very beginning of the label, and she basically does all of my artwork. So I just like hit her up basically like a month and a half before the release, and I just tell her like exactly what I want, and she like sends me like a draft, and I'm like, honestly, every time she sends me a draft, I'm like, it's ready to go. Literally every time I ask her for a draft, I'm like, dude, it's ready to go.
No revisions.
I literally don't have to give her notes. I'm basically just like, it's ready to go.
How'd you come across her?
She's probably not gonna like this, but like I met her through Tinder. She's probably not gonna like this, but yeah, I met her through Tinder like years ago.
Okay.
And then like we actually never met up like face to face. We literally never met up face to face. But I just kept in contact with her because she actually had like really cool art.
Okay.
And then once I actually started the label, I was like, yo, like her art actually fits like the vision and the idea of what I want for this label.
Gotcha.
So I told her like, hey, like this is what I want for the label. Like, can you like do this? And she was like, of course I can. And then it worked. It just worked.
Gotcha. Because I think a lot of people like struggle with finding like a graphic designer or someone to do like their artwork for. But I think like the best thing to do is find someone that you just genuinely like work with, like their work, like because if you like their work, then your vision and their vision somewhat are aligned. So whatever you throw at them, you're just gonna be like, oh shit, you just
and that's what I told you. Like honestly, like every idea that I had, that it was like to me, it sounded crazy. Like anytime like I had an idea for like a cover art, it sounded crazy to me, but she actually just like made it work. And like I literally just didn't have to ask for like corrections. She like just made it work. And I was like, fuck, you just like we're on the same page. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. I just like sent her money, like, all right, we're good. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so you get your artwork, then the process from there.
Yeah, from there, so like my roommate at the time, Tommy Garcia, he works for a Create Music Group and he works for distribution. So he was actually like basically the pinnacle of the reason why I even started Thick Freakness. Only because I lived with him. So he's worked with like so many labels right now. He's actually working with Nightbase right now. So I told him that I wanted to start the label, and he was like, "Okay, well, like I can actually help you with that." So like he helped me start with he actually helped me start the label, and then he was like, "Yeah, just give me the music, give me the artwork, and I'll get it sorted for you." And basically, that's what I do now. I basically every time like I have a new release, I just get all the music ready, get the artwork sorted. I give like all the information, literally line by line. I send it to him, and then he just sorts everything out after that.
Got you. So then, because the thing that like I feel like a lot of people lose like focus with when they're like trying to promote like a single by themselves
Yeah.
is one, distribution,
Mhm.
and then two, like trying to make a buzz rather than just posting your artwork up.
Yeah.
You know, because like a lot of people, I get it. That's the promotion, right? Just
Yeah.
the artwork, but there's more to like getting a buzz. Than
No,
like,
no. Like honestly, like promotion has always been like the bane of my existence for like the past like 3 years. Because I realized like me as a person, I know I make good music, and I know like a lot of my friends like make really good music, and it sucks to see that like your music only gets like maybe like 20 plays.
Yeah.
It sucks. It sucks to see that. So like I've gone to a point where I'm basically that's where most of my focus has gone into, because I've seen the other aspect. Like I know the creative side, I know like the distribution side, the promotion side is where like I really need to focus on right now. And I've gotten to the point where, especially with like SoundCloud, I've actually gone to a point where like I have like a really big network of people that will like repost my music. I can get like easily have a reach of like maybe like 300,000 now, only because like I've talked to so many people that like want to buy into my network, and they're willing to buy into that network, that like I can reach out to like that many people now. But as far as Spotify is like really the hardest nut to crack though.
playlisting. That's
It's really like the weirdest thing. Spotify playlisting is really like the weirdest thing.
I think it's like for Spotify, it's literally about networking with people who have Spotify playlists and
Yeah,
networks
no,
to a bunch of
which
Spotify
kind of
playlists.
sucks, because it's basically like you have to know somebody who knows
Yeah.
somebody, like
Or they gotta really enjoy your music to where they're gonna
Yeah.
be like, all right, we're putting
yeah,
you in
which
my
kind of sucks, because it's
rotation.
basically like you have to know somebody, like I feel like your music should like just carry itself.
It should.
It should,
okay,
and it
so,
should.
like, and you know what? You're right. Like the talent, the music, you know, it should
Yeah.
all speak for itself. But like, it gets to a point where there's in my eyes now, like I'm
Obviously,
so,
it's a
like,
business.
It's not even that, bro. There's so many talented people out there, fam. There's like so
There's so
many.
much more music.
Yeah, and now
Yeah.
like there's people that aren't just talented in making music; they're talented as at making TikTok videos too, and they're talented as using social media, and they're talented at making playlists for
No, yeah,
for,
no, but
Spotify
basically,
and stuff.
no, but basically, yeah, no, it's definitely oversaturated. So
So it's all about
no,
doing a
no,
little
but
bit of
it's come to
extras.
no, it's come to a point where, especially with Spotify, it's basically like who you know. If you don't know somebody, then you're not going to basically get played, which kind of sucks. For the entire industry, it kind of sucks.
Yeah, and yeah, like yeah.
I mean, the info's out there.
Yeah,
I think the info's out there. Like,
because there's independent ways of doing it. Like
There's
so,
definitely
like,
independent ways of doing it.
and an example. Well, this is just me bringing it up, but I think Carlos or Husky like is a good example because Homeboy's doing like getting his own plays. It's all pretty much organic, right? Like the way you built your playlisting, your email list. You feel me? It all came from constant self releases, right?
Yeah,
And a bunch of
yeah.
other ways of promotion.
No, and then that's what I'm saying. Like that's basically kind of the way to do it because what I said earlier, like honestly, like I've learned through like label releases, like there's very few people that know how to handle your music more than you know how to handle your music yourself.
And you see, that's one of my fears now because I think I'm way too comfortable self-releasing because I know the amount of effort that I put into my release to be able to expect a certain amount of like I guess numbers and shit like that, right?
The same love.
So like, exactly. So like when because I've had certain labels be like, dude, send me a demo, I'm down. I'm like, dude, would you even let me like do let me release my kind of artwork? Yeah. Because all your artwork is a particular format. Like I honestly like this shit just puts me off. Like I don't want like the artwork.
It doesn't vibe with me.
Like, exactly. Or like the way you market it, your efforts. Like it just makes much more sense for me to own my master and do it like self. To do it just by myself because I personally like as a independent EDM artist, I've reached that point. Yeah. Where I'd rather just care more of like the bigger labels. Because a lot of these label offers, I'm not saying they're from the big labels, they're more from like the mid, like small size
labels, yeah.
We want your music on my label. Like like for something, I'm like, maybe. I'll tell you this. I'm much more comfortable now to be like, okay, you want a demo, but what's the leniency on like how it's packaged and like shit like that. Like I'm much more comfortable to ask those kinds of questions now as an independent artist because I guess I could say I have a portfolio of my music catalog online and people can judge the way like how they perceive me as an artist. So you could be like, look, I'll give you the demo, but I need to know that you'll be able to like package and market it the way I do it, if not better. But if you can do it less, like, yeah, bro. Like I said, like I always told a lot of people in several podcast episodes. Right now, I think it's a much more independent artist market than it is a label market. Like,
but
like you have much more resources. Like as an independent artist these days,
I think you could say that because you built yourself that way. You feel me? So it's easier for you to say that.
No, of course.
Like,
no, absolutely.
It takes time, but it takes time of like.
No, the reality.
This doesn't happen overnight. Like
no, that's definitely the reality though. No, because like, but not like, and we were talking about this earlier. Like when you first start out, obviously you don't have those resources. When you get to a point in your career, you're just like, yo, like it's not worth it. It's literally not worth it to like sign to these labels that aren't doing anything for you though.
And a lot of times, like at the time, what's more important at that time was the validation.
Yeah,
of like being affiliated. Like
that's literally.
I've noticed at least like if I could talk about myself and like the previous catalog that I've had signed to.
And and like honestly, not to talk shit on those labels either.
No, not at all, bro. Like
not at all.
There's like when we release on labels, there's like a certain intention from an artist and why they want to get on a label.
It's also though too because like I could say this almost like for a fact, but you learn to release like a label. So when you're looking at these other labels, you're like, okay, are you releasing as you should? And I think that's something that like plays into your mind when
it comes down to it basically comes down to like releasing your music intentionally and knowing exactly like what your music deserves, you know.
Facts.
Yeah. I think that could be a very clouded situation on like, you know, trying to value like your music and like what kind of exposure, what kind of love it should get. Or, you know, it's one of those murky waters as an artist you swim through.
Only you know your vision though, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
So like at the end of the day, that's something you
and at the end of the day, it's always a scary thing to like actually release that vision into the world because you like I said earlier, like you don't know how that's gonna be accepted. Because everybody could be like, fuck this, like, it fucking sucks, or everybody could be like, yeah, this is fucking amazing. But like, you know, honestly, like at the end of the day, you don't control the results. You only control the work. You only control the process. You don't control like actually writing the music. That's it. That's all you control.
No, true.
Facts. Nah, yeah. I know. We got into this asking like.
I was like, oh, we're about to end the podcast, right?
No, that's perfect. Like, because like I said, a lot of people are struggling with how to promote their music. Like, it's not even the making the music anymore. A lot of the people will make the product and they're just sitting like, damn, like. I put out like a track once a month, or I put out a track every week, or something like that, and I'm not getting no results.
The shitty thing is like there's literally so many underground, like really fucking like crazy artists that get zero love, only because they have no idea like how to market their music.
Facts.
Yeah, it's literally just trying to get the music in front of the
listeners.
In front of the listeners. Like, however that method is, whether if it's a TikTok that you got to do, or an Instagram reel, or you're doing a giveaway, like whatever it is that you got to do, like that's the number one thing now that's very important in this music industry is knowing how to market yourself.
Yeah.
And you just gotta adjust to every like wave that comes through.
Honestly, and unfortunately, it's not as easy as just like writing the music. Honestly, you literally have to wear like 20 different hats.
And honestly, it's in any industry. Like just learning how to market yourself in any industry, because you can be the best.
You just have to be very resourceful. You have to be very resourceful.
Yeah,
that's it. That's what it comes. That's what it comes down to. You have to be very resourceful, and you have to like open up and just like actually talk to people. And
also too, come in this mentality of like, what can I do for you versus what you could do for me. A lot more people will. 100%. You'll see that the universe will give you a lot more opportunities if you tackle life with what can I do for you versus what can this person do for me.
Yeah, no. If you have a giving mentality as opposed to a taking mentality, then you're gonna get very far.
And a lot of times the grace of doing that may not come right at the times that you want. You know that might come.
No. It's very
maybe even earlier than what you think.
It's very karmic. Basically, like whatever goes around comes around. Basically, whatever energy you give out to the universe, eventually it's coming back to you.
For sure.
It won't come. It might not come back. It might not come back immediately, but it'll come back. You know?
Oh yeah, for sure. I like to think that I've been very superficial about certain like things where I'm like, damn, like I never thought I believe in karma, but if this is what karma is, then I believe this shit.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm not shitty to people. Like honestly, you
can't be shitty to people in the music industry. You just can't do it. Like I get it. There's people but don't be shitty.
Because trust me, I've dealt with a lot of shitty people in the music industry. But I've realized not to be shitty back. I'm just like, okay, that's who you are. Your karma's gonna come back to you. Good luck. Yeah. All right. I'll see you.
People like that burn their own bridges. Like
no,
you don't have to burn them for them. Like you feel me? Like you just gotta let 100%. Them hang themselves with their own rope. You feel me? That's it. You just got all right. That's who you like. Exactly. That's who you are. I'm just gonna move out of love and get myself out of it.
No, because that's the reality though. Like that's the reality in your entire life. Like you should never react to any negativity with negativity because like it's basically gonna come back to you. Mm-hmm. So just like any negativity that comes to you, just accept it, embrace it, and just like good luck.
Even if it did piss you off.
No, that's your negativity.
Yeah, because it will fester there.
Be mad.
Facts. I feel you on that.
Because some people, they could just really submit themselves into another person's misery or negativity. Yeah. But you could be that person and be like, okay, well, like honestly, my emotional armor is on point. Like this is not gonna like demotivate me or like put me on the same emotional level as you. Like my emotional level is very isolated to the point where whatever you're feeling, like that shit can't really jeopardize like what I'm feeling and how I feel about shit. That's something that definitely you build like as a person, like through time and time. Of
course, I know without a doubt, dude.
Yeah, dude. Fuck. How we feeling, bro?
No, I'm good.
You've been sipping on that wine, homie.
No, dude. I'm saucy right now.
Yeah.
Saucy.
You be sipping on that wine 12%, fam. Hey, and then you just whole like thing of fucking Jameson.
I took a little cool, nice amount of Jameson and this Kiltwater mango margarita made with real tequila, 12.5 alcohol percentage. Real talk. Hey, gluten free, dude.
You're not down to chug it.
I mean, I'm pretty much almost done with that shit.
Oh, my boy lit. Hey, are we all
Hey, there
doing
you
it
go.
then? Fuck it.
Oh shit, you trying to spark this or no? This is for the end? Here, pass it to my boy Don right there. You're the first person to come through with their own cup and like their own wine bottle, bro. Like honestly, you on some shit, homie.
I'm a
You
very prepared person.
Hey, we like that.
All right, because I have a dad. He lives in Arizona. He's real bougie. He likes wine. His wife likes wine too.
All right.
They got real into it where they started popping up at people's houses and presenting wine and shit. I was like, y'all different, but like. All right, can you describe that wine right there? How would you describe it? I just want.
No. Like, honestly, I can't describe wines. No.
Okay.
No. Basically, the reason why I drink wine is because, like, I've come to a point where I've come from an alcoholic family. So basically, this is my only vice.
Gotcha.
And, like,
Not bad.
like, the vice was always, like, beer. But beer for me is basically just like it always makes me feel fucking gross. And like just drinking straight liquor, honestly, I know where that point goes to, and I don't want to go to that point. So basically, this is a nice middle ground. Wine is a very nice middle ground because it makes me feel very chill, very relaxed, very calm. And that's who I am as a person, very calm and relaxed.
Are you a dark wine person or a clear wine person?
Oh, definitely dark.
Dark.
Definitely dark.
Make the joke. Make the joke. I want to hear it. We want to hear it.
No, I don't know.
We wanna hear it.
Oh no.
Yeah, what the hell?
I know you. I know. I know what she wants me to say. She's like, "Yeah, I like my wine like I like my women."
Hey.
Obviously, off screen. Yeah, obviously off screen.
I'm trying to figure out what I like more, clear wine or dark wine. I think I'm like split.
No. Well, they have
Depends.
no. Both of them have their utilities. So like, obviously, like I'm the weirdo that drinks red wine year round, which you shouldn't, because like red wines are very dry, very dark. Like you should probably drink them more with like a steak.
Reds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With like a steak or like a pork. White wines you should probably drink. You should drink with like a fish or a chicken, but also it depends on like the temperature of the season too. Because like I usually drink red wine in the middle of summer, which you definitely shouldn't do.
Oh, for reals?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, because it
Middle of
basically
summer?
basically because it basically makes you basically makes your center temperature like raise,
Oh, damn.
so it makes
okay.
you hotter like as a person,
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So like you should basically stick to like whites during the summer.
Oh, word.
But
okay.
I drink reds year round though.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Are you the kind of person to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to this like wine tasting tour? Like, do you go to wine tasting tours?
Of course.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
How often do you be doing that? Is that like a quarterly thing, once a month?
No, I basically just do it like once a year.
Oh,
Once a year.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. I've always wondered like what kind like. Cause you drink wine, I wonder what kind of personality that looks like. You know, like for example, for people that drink a lot of beers and IPAs, they go to a brewery like once a month, once a week.
No, but
I wonder what like a wine enthusiast like.
But I also
I
go
don't
to
know, it's like-
but I also go to breweries too, only because like I told you this comes from my parents. Like my parents like love to drink, so like they go to breweries maybe like once a month, but like we drink wine every weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. Wine tasting locations. Those are pretty much like like the same experience as like what a brewery would be for like someone that loves beer. No, you wouldn't think so.
It's completely different.
Like they don't have like a brewery kind of like winery.
Because wineries are like specifically on location of where they made that wine. So like I've been to like a lot of wineries. So I've been to like Napa. I've been to
Napa Valley.
Yeah, Napa Valley.
Okay.
I've been to Napa Valley. I've been to Santa Barbara. I've been to what's the other one? Yeah. Yeah. No. Paso Robles. Yeah, Paso Robles, and there's another one out towards you. Temecula. Yeah, I've been to Temecula too. No, I've been to all those though. Like, with my family.
I know earlier we were talking about the market night at Redlands. There's a wine bar on that street. Have you ever been there?
No.
Okay, interesting. No, there's a wine bar right there if you ever want to check it out.
No.
I don't know if I should
No.
recommend
But no. Honestly, I know I'm a big fan of wine bars though.
Wine, I've never heard of that shit. Wine
Really?
bars?
Yeah, they're a thing.
I've only like wineries. That's all I've heard. Like I thought that was like my impression of what a wine bar it is.
Wineries, aren't they like the whole?
I've
never been to a winery.
No, honestly, I love that I'm introducing this to you though. This actually makes me feel good in my heart right now.
Yeah, because like, I've always heard of just people going to like wine tasting location, like wineries.
Yeah,
just doing wine tasting, but I've never heard of like wine bars where there's a lot more different wines, right?
There's literally wine bars. So you go in and like the bartenders, like they actually tell you like this is how you should drink this and like this proportion. And these are like the tastings like you should actually take with this.
And the wineries, they're just serving their wine, correct?
Yeah.
Most times.
Well, wineries, yeah.
No, wineries, wine bars are
right,
different.
Right,
wine bars,
wine
like
bars.
Wine bars have several brands.
No,
exactly.
basically, no, like no. Okay, so what the way I would say is basically like wine bars are basically curators. So basically, wine bars are basically DJs. They're curators.
There you go.
They're curators.
Okay.
They're curators.
It's a bar, bro. At the end of the day,
Right.
Yeah.
bars don't just have one brand
Yeah.
of beer or one brand.
Yeah, but like the winery,
breweries do.
they're producers.
Ah, they're that. Okay, I get what you're saying.
So the wine bars are basically the DJs. You know.
I got you.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Okay.
But you know, producers are DJs too. You know, so you
Yeah.
have a.
Where do you have most fun? Where do you have most fun? Wine bars or wineries?
Oh, that's a good
What kind of
question.
person you are?
Wine. Okay, well, I'll let you answer that.
No, that's
Because
you're ready. You're ready.
Yeah,
that's a good question.
That shit
No,
is-
because I've been to a lot of wineries. I've been to a lot of
What
wine
vibe do
bars.
you want? That's what it is, I think.
Yeah. What kind of person are you, bro?
I enjoy the experience of a winery because
There you
no, only because
Same.
I know I enjoy new things. I enjoy learning. I enjoy like new information. The wine bars, but also the wine bars, they're very fucking cool because they give me the same experience. But like the actual wineries themselves, they give me more satisfaction. I think.
I think so. I don't want to say they give me more satisfaction. I'd say, but I think like the reason you'd go to a winery, it's just a different reason than you'd go to a wine bar. I think, and the people you'd go to a winery with are people you wouldn't necessarily be getting drunk with all the time. You know?
True. Oh,
So-
that's actually a good point.
So
That's actually a good
sometimes
point.
you get drunk with some people you don't really know on that
Yeah.
side, and when you do, it's all
During
it's
the
like-
winery, right?
Yeah, and it's a good time because, bro, like a
I feel
winery is
that.
like, I kind of look at it as kind of bougie, like kind of like you gotta like
Mm.
dress nice a little. Everyone's there like a little proper, but at the same time, like we're getting drunk off wine.
Everyone's kind of like uniform drunk professionally.
Yeah, and it's like you're a proper drunk. I don't know. It's just a different vibe.
You're not
of being
meaning
at
the
a bar.
drunk me. You mean the representative drunk me right
And
now.
when you go to like a bar, you know you about to get sloppy. Like you
Yeah,
know.
of
you
course.
mean the
Yeah,
real
of
me
course.
right now.
Yeah, of
type
course.
shit.
And a winery is just like, oh,
Like I
this,
feel,
this is what we doing.
like,
Yeah.
hey, look, I ain't really trying to act too much at a winery. Like I'm trying to just act like just cool.
No, dude.
But it might get
No.
there.
I could get there, yeah.
I'm just
Like I might. Sip
I'm just
my
trying to
wine.
relax and just like actually have like a couple glasses of wine. Just like fucking relax.
Let me ask you this. I don't know. I'm not sure if you ever have played a music festival, but are you more like of a small club kind of performer? Like, do you enjoy more of like smaller shows, like intimate, like 50 to 100, 200, or do you like more like a bigger crowds, 5, 1,000? Or could you imagine yourself like liking more of a bigger crowd if you haven't?
No. So
like a place
no. So I played EDC and Countdown this last year.
Dude, that's what's up.
And I'm trying to give you perspective. So like I played EDC and Countdown this last year. I've also played like Academy. I've also played Exchange LA this last year too. Um, for me, I love more intimate. I love the closeness. I just love like having like people like close, like and just enjoying the music. That's basically it. Like with EDC and with Countdown. Actually, well, I love Countdown as opposed to EDC because EDC I was very like pushed away. Countdown, like everything was like very like up front. Everything was like very there.
It felt like you were very much
Countdown,
showcased.
Countdown was a very sick stage. It was a really good stage.
Did you play like what stage did you play in Countdown?
It was what was the stage? Incendia.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So yeah, it was basically just like fuego. Yeah, no, it's funny because like I wore a onesie, and in the middle of my set, I was like, dude, I'm done with this onesie. Like, I like ripped it off because like the entire like stage is like all fire.
Oh, like pyrotechnics, just
it's literally all fire.
Damn.
No, because it's called Incendia. It's literally all fire.
Yeah, damn, God.
Like when you're playing on stage, like it's surrounded by fire, and like anytime like you put off a banger, the guy like who's putting out the pyrotechnics pushes the button, and it just goes off, and you're like, "Fuck, dude!"
Damn,
like,
so your whole set was just fire.
And literally
the entire
set.
Never
felt like no breaks. For you. It just seemed like, damn, this just burn.
No.
It started to burn you.
No, like literally, that's what I'm telling you. Like, I was wearing a onesie. I was like, dude, I'm fucking done with this onesie, dude. Like,
I was always curious about how DJs and artists, performers, live entertainers go through all that with pyrotechnics. Because I'm always wondering, like, damn, like, don't that shit, like... Because I've been in those performances as a person that's in the crowd, and I feel that he, like... And I'm not as close as to how the performer is, and I feel that shit. And I'm just like, damn, like... These performers might like burn themselves because they're really close. They're much more closer to what I am.
I wasn't close to the fire. I wasn't close to the fire. I was just fucking hot. I was like, dude, like I just can't handle this heat anymore. I just had to like declothe and just be naked for a little bit, you know, like half naked.
And this was EDC like in the hottest season, right?
Yeah. No. This is Countdown. So this.
Countdown. Sorry, Countdown.
No, so this was like January. So like it was like
I mean, shit. Actually, you probably did need the fucking heaters then. You probably did then.
No, but like back to your question, like honestly, like the best place I've ever played, EDC Countdown. As opposed to like festivals to clubs, I would definitely prefer clubs only because I love the intimacy. Honestly, I definitely love the intimacy. Even though like I'm very weird about crowds, and she knows this. My girlfriend knows this. I'm very weird about crowds. I don't like being around crowds. But I love like the intimacy of actually like playing a set and like actually like seeing the crowd react to it. As opposed to like just like having like this massive crowd that I don't like. I have like no connection to, you know.
It's crazy that you brought it up because it's something that I noticed like the first time I went to EDC is that the artist is so far away from where the crowd is.
Yeah,
like this, like the space in between, and I'm just like, if I'm DJing up there. How am I feeling? Like, am I really feeling this crowd?
Yeah.
Do I just feel isolated?
No, because especially as a DJ, like your job is to read the crowd.
Yeah.
And if you're not reading the crowd, like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
You know what? I've kind of felt a similar experience where I did a drive-in rave where I wasn't as close to like as many people, and I noticed like, damn, like I would have thought this would have been as nerve-wracking, but it's not because I'm not as close to the people versus when I did shows where people are right next to me. I'm like, damn, like this is maybe like a little like nerve-wracking for me. And there is like that different energy and like how you feel because I can imagine like shit just feeling different when you're playing a bigger stage and like the isolation between you and the crowd is like that far apart versus you're in a club in a smaller setting and the people that are right in front of you could literally like touch the mixer type shit. Like it's like on that level and it's different circumstances, different energy, and you feel that shit for sure.
No, for sure.
Like, the numbers
without a doubt.
It shows up in its energy. I've even seen myself like just adapt and change like my playlist, like when it comes to like the bigger shows and like have you ever been like that too?
100%. No, dude, 100%. No, and that's what you have to do as a DJ though.
Yeah, because
that didn't change. No. I can just tell you like this past weekend. So like I had to follow my homie, Walter and John. They played a fucking fire set. Honestly, they played a fucking fire set.
I'm not familiar with them. What kind of music do they?
Candle and Melee. So no, they play mostly like UK garage, like bass house, breaks, like the same stuff that I play.
All right.
And they ended their set like basically like on a very high note. And this was at like a desert festival that my homies throw. So I was worried, like going into it, I was like, dude, how am I gonna fucking follow this? How am I gonna fucking follow this? Like,
because your idea of how you're gonna open it, is you're kind of like you have an idea, but this is ending.
No, but they basically brought the energy all the way up here. So I'm like, dude, like obviously I have to match this energy and like bring it back down. So I'm just like thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, like, how am I gonna do that? Okay, so like I just like figured it out. So I jumped on. They started off like at like 130. 134, I guess, but like it honestly didn't matter because I like in my sets I always end with UK garage, which is like around like 134, 135. So basically what I had to do was basically go to the end of my set, list, and basically go from backwards to forwards, which is very weird for me. But that's where I had to start at.
Yeah, I was about to say,
so I had to start from the end of my set and basically keep the energy up. And then eventually like bring it back down to the front of my set and then bring it back to the back of my set.
So you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, so originally the playlist gradually the energy gets much more like to that level.
Yeah.
But you reversed it to where we maintain the energy.
No. So basically,
and then
what I'm getting at, basically what I'm getting at is basically
yourself.
I had to adapt. I had to adapt to what I was given. Gotcha. Like we were talking about this earlier, like from what you're given from like the person that plays before you, you basically just have to adapt to what you're given. Like they didn't sync their set. They basically gave me what their energy was, and I had to adapt to what their energy was. And it was very high energy. Honestly, for me, it sucked, but I had to figure it out, and I figured it out, and it was good.
You know, I think it's very helpful if you're gonna be playing somewhere to get there maybe 30, 40 minutes before your set, so that way you can know like what the vibes are before.
Yeah.
Because that gives you an idea of like what the crowd has already been fed, and you could make a decision whether or not you want to accommodate what the vibe was left off from the previous DJ, or you could like. Because I've seen myself and I've seen others like they get there like right before they get there and they're like, all right, I'm about to play whatever the fuck, but they didn't really fully understood what was happening beforehand. Like I've even seen myself even like kind of mess up certain intros, like certain shows.
The reality is that you never know. Like whenever somebody plays before you, you never know where they're gonna land. So basically, you have to have the adaptability to figure it out for yourself. Yeah, and also too, not to be scared, to try some new shit too. Like I think that's one thing too. Like a lot of people play it safe, like playing just like the regular top chart hitters, like that. For sure, like. Guaranteed positive crowd response, right? But you know, I don't know. This is just like a much more biased opinion, but I definitely like seeing performers and DJs play some shit that I've never heard, because you could definitely go through a performance in a set and play all the chart hitters. Like you could be that DJ. Yeah, of course. And for sure, like the crowd went. No, you'll get all the crowd reactions, of course. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Everybody in the club. Yeah, for sure. It's gonna go off. Yeah, it's gonna go off. But I've always seen myself. And then this, me too. Like as a DJ, I'm always just trying to be that person. Like, you know what? I believe this is the track that we should listen to tonight. Whether if you listen to it or if it's popular or underground or not, like this is I think for sure like a DJ should always feel like they have that right to
be arrogant in that sense of like, you know what, like you guys, we're gonna fuck with this shit.
Honestly, like no, I had the privilege of playing at Countdown, and I actually played a lot of like my IDs, and I loved the privilege of actually playing my IDs like at that stage. It was actually fucking amazing.
So like they're pretty flexible with you. Playing whatever you want, right? Like they don't really say like particular like guidelines, like you shouldn't play this, shouldn't play this.
No. The reality is though, like honestly, the reason why I even played like EDC and Countdown is because like I signed music with these guys called Cats and Boots, and like Cats and Boots are like my homies now. Like I signed music with them like twice now. And they like honestly, I love those guys. They're fucking amazing. They're, like really cool people. And anytime like they play like festivals, I'm like, yo, like, hey, do you guys have like another spot? They're like, yeah, sure.
That's lit. Yeah. Shout out to them, bro, for giving you those opportunities. That's so fucking dope. I think going back to the topic of like DJing and like reading the crowd, I think DJs should get an opportunity or put themselves in a position where they're DJing to a crowd for at least 4 to 5 hours, just because then like you can't go by playlists anymore. You can't go by just a set list. You have to really just think about all the music you have and start mixing it in and actually being able to feel out all the people that are coming in, opposed to just having like a 45 to an hour set list. Because like you come from, well, you've open format DJ before?
No, I've never done open format. No.
Okay. You've open format DJ before, right?
For sure.
That's all crowd reading, right?
A lot of reading. For sure. Like, especially if you're playing open format and you're an EDM DJ, you can't really rely on like your favorite EDM tracks to get you through the night. Like, like you never know who's in these bars, and like you could make your own mix and throw your own favorite hits and put it online, and the right crowd will find that. But when you're playing somewhere else and there's certain crowd, like you're playing at a dive bar and you're gonna play like all the crazy bangers, that might not work out because people there are just trying to. You never know. Like you gotta read the crowd, like where you're from. Like Southern California, particularly. Like if I'm playing open format, most of the times, like I've played dive bars or anywhere, like they're not gonna be really too excited to hear maybe like a crazy underground SoundCloud banger you found.
Yeah.
Like versus you playing like the Spotify top 10 like dance music chart hitter type shit,
and,
you know?
And like even this way, like this is something that really like honestly put me into perspective like this past weekend, like going out to my sets, like getting booked for like an artist set, right? I'm always making a set list that like I like, you know, like these are the tracks I like, this is how I want to transition them in and whatnot. Opposed to this weekend, I pretty much did open format, but they asked for house music, right? So I was like, all right, let me just put a whole bunch of like, let me download a whole bunch of house shit, like a whole bunch of house bangers, and then like let's see what's up. And I really had to fucking figure out what was gonna work for these motherfuckers, because like I was playing like bass house, like house shit that I liked.
Like even within the house shit, you're trying to figure out what right house tracks to play.
But honestly, at the end of the day, you still have to read the crowd. Like even though like you play what you want to like it doesn't matter. Like
it doesn't matter what I like. It does not fucking matter.
No, for a crowd, honestly, it doesn't matter what you like.
Yeah, so
really
like
doesn't matter what you
I had to find out what worked. And then out of what worked, I had to find what I liked about what worked. So now I'm just like, I'm looking at what I play, what I'm going to play for my sets now. Totally, like, I have to change how I think about my sets totally different now. And I think it's just like a good way to like look at things a little more.
And I wish a lot more DJs looked at the way that you see that shit, because I think a lot of DJs nowadays don't understand the gigs that they be getting sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, like I understand what you're passionately trying to do. You accepted this gig, but like you should have known better, like where you're at, and like you're probably not getting that reaction you want because you're genuinely doing like what you want artist wise, but as a DJ or like your personal taste, like you're somewhere else. Like from the DJ, like as a trait as a DJ, like that's a skill. Like you need to learn how to read the crowd.
No, as a DJ, you should always read your crowd. Like honestly,
sure.
Like no, it's not about what you want. It's basically what the crowd wants. Like,
yeah.
Like you should.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, exactly. No, exactly. No. Like, and like I know that as an artist, like I know what I want as an artist, and I know what the crowd wants. So like anytime I play my music and I feel like they're not reacting to it, like I'll immediately switch it up. And I know like immediately when I switch it up and they feel it, I'm like, okay, you're good. Like I'm basically just like, dance, my children, dance. I'm the puppet master.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
You know what fucked me up? I got away from that when I was like, nah, if this track didn't do it for y'all, now the next one is a banger. Like now the next one, oh y'all didn't like. Now the next one's a banger too, though. Don't trip. And I just got caught up in that where I'm just like, maybe like they don't want to listen to my bangers. You feel the things I think are bangers. Let me just like
basically no. You have to figure out what they like though.
And then throw in like what I like that fits, and that's when I was like, okay, because by the second hour I was there, bro, I was like, okay, maybe I could drop in one of my bass house tracks or something like that, and be like, hey, this is some shit I made or something like that.
Yeah,
so,
you see, that's one of the things that I really enjoyed seeing about a lot of my favorite artists is that a lot of their sets when they played their own headlining show versus they're filling a spot like at a big Insomniac festivals, that this shit would be different. Like if you're headlining a show and your whole audience is for you, that's just probably gonna be a lot more originals than it is like maybe 50-50 originals, 50-50 like the shit that you're fucking with that's not you, like at a festival set. Like all these conditions that come into play that as a DJ you mentioned, like you're the vibe curator at these locations, and maybe as an artist you do want to play like your whole catalog, but it just makes sense where you're at. Maybe at a festival where you're just filling up the spot. You're not necessarily headlining, but you're filling up the spot at a major festival, and you have that much more of a leniency to play a lot of your favorite shit because there's a lot of roamers out there too. That like if you're playing a major festival, there's a lot of roamers out there that maybe don't know you, so you have a lot of leniency to play a lot of other shit. But if you're playing a headlining show, like I like to think it's obligatory as an artist to play like your popular tracks as a service to the fans that are there. That all plays a big part where you're playing, like the playlist and what you play out, certain timing and certain sections, like all that shit adapts like where you're playing. Like I totally believe that shit changes everywhere I play. No doubt about it.
This, though. I just want to put like a little spin on this conversation. Do you think it's harder for strictly bass artists, not even bass house, but like dubstep artists, trap artists in that realm to be more freeform than house artists?
No, I don't think it's. No, to begin with, I feel like it's very hard for any artist. No, like despite what genre, because it's so overly saturated right now. It's really overly saturated right now. And it's very hard for even like the music industry to even like figure out like where the fuck do we place these people?
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, I always hear this term thrown out a lot. You know, there's a space for everybody. And I like to believe this, but the reality is that the shit's limited in terms of like opportunities. And so this is the music industry, bro. There's so many hungry wolves out there, and the industry just throws a piece of meat. Here you go, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And so it can get very hostile, bro, with a lot of people, and like it's. I can see why many people are very like
they're very jaded,
like very jaded, and like it's very hard to be like it's. That's why you gotta be. That's why you as your own individual artist, you gotta really be confident in like what you bring in terms of like value as a music artist in the music industry, music business and shit like. Like you gotta be very comfortable as to where you are and like where you're going towards.
But also the reality is, as far as I've learned being in the music industry, like if you're not gonna be in it for the long term, then why even be in it at all? If I'm gonna be in it for like 10 years plus, why even be in it?
But I think it's
because those people that are only there for like the short term, you're gonna die off easily. Facts.
No, that's definitely facts, bro.
A lot they die out a lot more than the people that are constantly just sticking around for sure.
No, because if you actually literally love what you're doing, you're gonna stick there for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years.
But also, I think people initially don't really know that they don't love making music or they don't love what they're doing, you know?
Yeah.
So they think this is what it's temporary for them, you know?
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
They might think like it's what they love doing, but once it starts getting down to like the nitty gritty and really getting it done and consistently doing it, like that's
once it actually gets hard and you're like, dude, you're actually deciding between like, dude, like
real life shit and like some people don't put this as real life shit, like making music as. No, this is a priority. People think it as everything else could be priority, but like nah, like this is just as important as me driving to work right now, or like it's literally just as important.
No, but for me, like I definitely have my priorities, but I always like in the back of my mind, I never forget about music. Like it's always there for me. It's literally the number one thing.
How long can you relax before you have to make music?
Not long.
No, I mean because I get like anxiety after I go so long without making music.
No, like dead serious. Probably like 24 hours. Like that's basically it.
Okay, you know, I
have to like do something. I literally have to do something.
But the fact that you had an answer to that, I know Carlos had an answer to that. Like people don't really have answers to that, you know, and it's just certain people that are like, oh no, it's just something I gotta get done, like a chore almost. Like I gotta get it done. Like, you know, like something I gotta get off. Like some people just have that, and like that's when you know you love something. You know, when you know you just gotta do it. Like you might hate doing it sometimes, but you know you gotta do it. You know, like I think that's what.
No. For me, like it's basically it's always been an itch, and like I have to get it out of my system.
Yeah, facts. Or you just feel like not the same. Like,
no, you don't feel like a person.
You're like, I'm not getting done what like my body's telling me to get done.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you what. When it comes to music expression, I listen to R&B. I'm like, damn, I feel that shit.
Yeah,
because R&B, compared to all these other genres I listen to, I'm like, damn.
Bro, that's
like this dude said that shit in that way. Okay, like who did you dirty like that?
Hey,
like,
you listen to that new Daniel Caesar album? Huh?
Hey, bro, I'm telling you. Hey, look, I told you. Hey, the new Eric Bellinger.
Daniel Caesar kills it. Daniel Caesar kills it.
Like I'm telling you, man. You listen to certain genres, you're like, damn, like they
know how to express themselves like this.
Yeah.
Like I can't.
Okay. Then he hit the high C like that. All right.
He said that. Oh.
No, like who the fuck did you dirty like that? Like Don Tall. Anyways, but shit, true. But
now I feel that way for bass music though. Damn, why is that so deep, bro? Like, who did you like that? Like, you know?
Why is this bass so aggressive, bro? Like, bro, like, why didn't you win that fight in 11th grade? Like you should have won that fight. Like, why? That's why it's aggressive, bro. Like, you know, just all this anger built up into you.
Yeah, bro. I feel that way sometimes.
We talked about this. Like, what does that mean when someone says like your music sounds aggressive? Your music sounds, you know.
Like, no, so let me ask you a question. What's your favorite song that you've ever written?
Oh, that's a great question.
No, number one song. Honestly, like the number one song, like
that's a great question.
Yeah.
What was the first song that came to mind?
That was two.
It
was two. So, but I'm gonna make my decision. Never Want to Leave and Protect You.
Okay. So that's number 1 and 2.
Well, I'm gonna give you my. I'm about to make a decision right now. They're number one, both. But I think Never Want to Leave. For sure.
I fuck with that track.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a track you can stream everywhere. Spotify, Apple Music, Future Rhythm, and drum and bass. That's one of the reasons why I think it ranks out as one, because you get best of both worlds of Future Rhythm, melodic bass, and you get the drum and bass like rhythms.
Okay.
Protect You is like straight drum and bass record, so you get like you know my style of drum and bass in that.
Nice.
But yeah, Never Want to Leave for sure. It's like one lately has been my favorite number one. Like damn, like for sure, like this is something that I wanted to achieve. Like this is a track that like before even like writing it, I was like, damn, this is the way I want to write it before I write it. So when I wrote it, I'm like, damn, like as a music producer, like even with this project, as a music producer, I acknowledge like, damn, I was able to like in my mind like write it out like how it would sound, and when I wrote it out, I did that shit. Yeah. So it was a growing like.
Let me ask you this. So like before I ask you this question, did you ever think about that? Did you ever think about like your favorite track ever?
I thought about my top tracks, like top tracks. Like, yeah, this is my favorite tracks for sure. No,
so okay, so let me ask you the same question.
Like favorite tracks.
No, so what's the first like the favorite track you've ever written in your entire life?
I've thought of favorite tracks, but not number one. I'll tell you that.
Number one.
My number one track that I ever wrote. It would be this track I got called Nero Bird. It's like a super aggressive like trap dubstep track.
Okay. How long ago did you write it?
Maybe like a year or two ago.
Okay.
About like a year and some ago. Yeah, for sure. I made it quick though. That was something that I just banged out real quick, and I was like,
no. Like, the reality is though, like honestly, like the best tracks that you ever write are always like that.
I believe that they're always flawed. Like at least for me, like the
idea always comes out flawless. And you just have to like tweak it a little bit.
Yeah.
No, but the idea always comes out flawless.
Sometimes, like at the end of the day session, I'm like, dude, I can't believe this shit was flawless. Because a lot of times, like damn, like going back to what I was saying, like being able to like, there's a lot of sessions where I go into, I'm like, okay, like I want this production session to go this way, and when it does go the way that I want to, in the time frame that I want to, I'm like, damn. Like this is crazy, especially because as a producer, I like to think I'm growing as a producer. Like since I've seriously started doing that shit 2015, 2016, like I don't know, like going back to like especially the music that I was making back then versus now, I'm honestly I'm very proud of myself for sure. Like I'm very proud of the direction that the shit's going.
And I'm proud of you too.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate you too.
As you should.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what we expect from all our favorite artists, right? Like growth and like more, better, enjoyable music. Like every time Flume drops some shit, I'm just hoping for better shit. Like, you know, like, and I feel like that's what everyone is all striving for, you know, just to make better music every time they put some shit out. Like that feeling is everyone's feeling, you know, like, like, do you ever look at some producers, like, as I'm a reference Flume again. Do you ever think he thinks like, damn, I can't believe I put that out?
For sure.
You think so? And I ever wonder like, damn, what tracks are those then?
Or at least like, oh, I can't believe I'm still able to be satisfied with the sound in this era. Because, you know, like there's artists that release albums, they release singles in certain eras. And they're still able to like, make it, they calibrate it to where it still makes sense in the climate of dance music. But it's still authentic to like their branding of their sound. Like Flume, you go through all of his albums that he's released, the recent one and the one he did like prior before that. Like the climate of dance music is there, but his sound is like there accompanying it.
Yeah,
like it's hard to explain. Like it, there's a lot of artists. I can't. Well, this is a unique artist because there's not a lot of artists that could do that.
I'm gonna go pee.
For sure. Yeah, you could go ahead and do that for sure. Like dude, we're chilling, bro. Like take your time, bro. Don't even trip. Bet. Yeah, there's just like so many. There's not that many artists that I think do a great job doing that. Like carrying their original sound to certain eras of dance music. Flume has done a great job making it make sense for his sound.
Because
there's a lot of artists that release albums throughout these certain eras, and you're just like, okay, this album felt like he felt like he needed to just release this album for whatever, like for relevancy.
Yeah,
like, I don't know.
I'm just like super curious because like we have those tracks, bro. I know you have the track.
Yeah, me too.
I have the track. I just want to know what they think their track is, because what if it's one of our favorite tracks? You feel me? Like how would you feel if like let's say Dead Mouse and Ghost and Stuff was like one of his shittiest tracks he ever fucking made.
And that was one of our favorite.
Yeah, you feel me? He was like, bro, I hated, like, I really thought that was like one of my worst tracks, but the homie was like, put it out. So I was like, all right, I put it out, and then everyone fucked. Like, how would you feel like if you know, like reality, your favorite track was like that?
Bro, I mean, if I would just be like, dude, real talk.
I'm releasing all my trash music, bro. Like all the shit I never thought that was.
And that's like more of a insecurity thing for sure. Like as an artist, you might think your shit's trash, but for another, that might be treasure.
Yeah.
Like ear treasure for somebody else. We hear about this a lot with artists where the music that they weren't really too excited about, they released. It goes is much more popular than the music that they were really excited to release, and they're confused. These artists are confused because the music that they weren't really excited for goes popping, but the music that they're excited for doesn't really do as much numbers or doesn't get that much hype as the music that wasn't really.
Hold on.
I felt a little bit of that.
I missed a lot. What are we talking about right now?
Like, how would you feel if your favorite artist said that, or your most favorite track, right? That you like.
Okay.
The artist was like, yeah, that was like one of my shittiest tracks that I felt like I produced, but my homies convinced me to put it out, or like someone convinced me to put it out. How would you feel about that? Because I know you have tracks too that you've probably put out. And now you look back at it and you're like, damn, like I really put that out. Like,
and that shit was popping. Like for other, like everyone else was like, oh dude, this is like crazy. Like,
yeah, like I just think about that. Like my favorite artists, how do they feel about that? Like what tracks do they put out that?
But the reality is, like, anytime you release music, you never know how it's going to be received. Yeah. Even like how you feel about your music isn't how the entire world how feels about your music. Yeah. It does, honestly, but like at the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter. It really doesn't fucking matter. It matters how you feel about your own music. At the end of the day, it's if you're filled and like you love what you put out, that's really what fucking matters. That literally is what fucking matters.
Bro, honestly, all my tracks I feel like I love, but I'm not putting some of these motherfuckers out. Like,
Why? No, that's the big question right now.
All right,
why?
So,
why aren't you putting these fucking tracks out that you love?
Bro, they're gonna break your earphones. Like literally, they're gonna break your earphones.
If they're gonna break my earphones, then release them.
Distortion.
Release them.
It's literally just
release
distortion.
Release them.
No.
But honestly, I had this conversation with my homie this past weekend, and like I've listened to his music for years now, and he was like, dude, like I have all this music and blah blah blah. I was like, dude, I've listened to it and it's really fucking good. Stop doubting yourself, stop self-sabotaging, just fucking release it.
Yeah, no, I get that 100%. Like you should release your music, like that's what it is. But I think the way I see the music that I make, it's just not always for. I'm not putting this out for the intention of making music.
No, you're literally making excuses.
He could be making it for himself.
So like, no, because there's sometimes like I'll make music and I'm like, okay, did I just make this right now for it to be released outside, or did I make this right now just because I needed to make some shit? Because like if I'm making some shit just to make some shit, like one, it's not probably my best work.
I understand.
Two. It could be something that I just rushed and like I really didn't put too much feeling into it.
Yeah.
It's like I said, I just needed to like write some shit, and then.
But also, there's also that middle point where it comes to a factor like you're like, dude, like I know that this is actually going to be good, and you have to get out of your own way to like actually release it. You know.
Got you. So, I get that. I get that 100%. The way I see it is. Okay, now I know how to do this. Now I know this idea. Now let me take this idea, not necessarily recreate it, but take some techniques that I did here and now implement it into something where I'm gonna sit down and be like, I'm gonna just create for like hours, because I don't know. That's just how I like write. Like I have to be like I got hours to just sit down and produce. Mm-hmm. So if I just bang something out real quick. I know myself. I'm not going back to it. I'm not going to go back to it and try to like fix it up. Nah, I'm just going to make something new, something I feel more, and then I'm going to spend time on it.
I get what you're saying. I've had sessions where I go in and maybe I didn't really have too much of a direction, but I didn't finalize like this production. It was just some shit where like maybe like I exercised like
a particular. I wanted to try some shit out maybe.
Yeah. Or like you said, I just wanted to write some shit out. Like I always talk back about when I write music, I'm bending shit out. Like this is not maybe not me for like public release. Like, I'm trying to invent some shit.
But
Like a lot, like this could be said about like artists that make their own paintings or like fucking chefs that make their own recipes. Like some people just make shit for themselves and like they just
now your homie sees it.
They just.
But
But like, I get what you're saying. Like I get what you're saying. Where like when you as a creative, when you make certain shit, there's some shit that you're willing to share to the public, and there's some shit where you're like, oh, like I was just trying to get my shit out.
Yeah,
I was just trying to get my shit out. Like
basically like that. No, that's the entirety of my catalog of 2022. It was basically like me getting everything off of my chest.
Oh, okay.
And basically it worked. Like basically, and it was very receptive, which is weird because like I didn't think it was be receptive.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, I'm pretty sure everyone here has music that not EDM that you made that wasn't EDM, or have you only ever strictly made EDM?
I mean, I guess technically I've like written in like a bunch of genres. So like I said, like last year I wrote in like breaks, I wrote in like UK garage, and I wrote also in like house. But like it's basically on the umbrella of like EDM.
Got you. What about you? Do you have like a catalog that's not EDM?
Yeah, I got some tracks that for sure that like, oh, you want to hear a hip hop beat? Like, yeah, I got shit like that. Yeah. Oh, you want to hear like a fucking techno beat? Like it's still EDM, but some shit I wouldn't really like make frequently. Yeah, I got catalog like that, especially non EDM stuff. Yeah.
What if like one of your homies was like, "Hey, that's probably the most fire shit like I've ever heard,"
and it's like the shit that I don't normally make. I'd entertain it. Like, okay, like he feels this way. Why does he feel this way? It's not something that I normally make. Yeah. How can I integrate this and like find some sort of like growth advantage from, I don't know. This is just my thinking of like that particular situation. That's something I would like look into it. I would look into it for sure. I wouldn't dismiss it. I'd look into it.
I want like to get into like a music almost like purist take on things. And not just, all right, say something you made like that, right? Really like caught on.
For sure. Like, let's say a hip hop beat.
Yeah, would you switch lanes?
That's okay.
Knowing you could do it, knowing you still like it, like, oh, it was cool. Like, I could, like, is that something like,
I'd be open to see where it leads.
Yeah.
I'd be open to see where it leads.
What about you?
Because look, like, I'd be open to see where it leads as long as it's something that I'm satisfied representing as myself as an artist.
Okay.
As an artist, and that could be EDM. If that's something that I'm willing to do that's outside of EDM, but still represents like something that I'm happy with, like I'm willing to put myself behind that.
Okay.
No. For me, like honestly, like I never even started with music with electronic music genre. I started from like rock. So like honestly, like I'm like multi-genre anyway. So like honestly, I don't give a fuck.
Just
honestly, as long as I can make music
that you like.
No, and like honestly, in my heart and soul, as long as I can make music that I enjoy and I love, like that's what matters to me.
So as long as you're making the music that you love, so basically what we're saying here is we'd put our face on an air fryer. Right?
What you talking about?
That's what I'm correlating this. Like Marshmello, you feel me? Like he didn't just stick to his one genre. He made another, like he made some shit that people liked. Okay. He produced in hip hop, and then he went left.
Produced in hip hop, okay.
And he went left, and he was like, "Hey, I like this route. I like this big money route. Let's keep going." And then face on an air fryer. You feel so we're all saying we'd put our face on an air fryer.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. I'm guess. I guess if you're boiling it down to that, then yes.
I'm reaching.
Yeah.
I'm definitely reaching. For sure. I'm reaching. Nah, because like I think.
No. Okay, so like a big question. How you guys feeling right now? How you feeling? How you feeling over there?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Like I've sipped one of those cold water mango margaritas, 12.5%. That shit, it got me on a sick one. I've been sipping. This is my second one of the Jameson. I'm
Straight.
feeling good. I'm feeling good. What
Good.
about yourself?
How you feeling over there?
Chilling off my
Yeah.
third.
Wait, no,
Twisted.
wait.
How you feeling?
No,
How
honestly,
you
no,
feeling?
dude, I'm good right now. No, wait, so are we ready to check the tempo or what?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you trying to get samples?
Oh, you trying to already?
We'll get samples, bro. Oh, you trying to get to this shit, bro. You trying to? Hey, well, before we get samples, I just want to know what's your favorite tempo. Number one favorite tempo.
No, number one.
If you could tattoo this shit on your body, bro, like, this is my fucking tempo.
132.
Hey, okay, you're 132. Okay,
132, yeah.
I feel
No,
that.
that's where I start producing at. No, honestly, no. Where I start producing at is 128, but honestly, where my heart wants to go to is 132.
132.
Yeah.
Hey, that's your heart speaking, bro.
Yeah.
What's your least favorite tempo you wouldn't want to have on your body, bro? You're like, nah, don't put 150 on me, type shit. You know, like
118.
118. You're like, nah, get 118 out of my
Yeah.
face. Hey, I like the honesty, bro. Honestly, really appreciate the honesty. 132 though.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Dude, I'll tell you up front. 132
132.
is exactly where I want to be.
You know, I've listened to some of your tracks. There's a lot of I haven't like analyzed into record box, but are a lot of them 132 or like
They're usually around 128 to 132.
132? Okay,
Yeah.
so it's like in that range. I see that.
Yeah,
I see that.
some of them are actually like higher above, but like that was only because like I was writing with Eric Mark, and, and that guy is like, yeah.
I got you. All right, interesting. Well, look, bro. It seems like you want to get some tempos.
No,
Let's get to it, bro. Boy, hey, before we conclude this podcast episode, is there any announcements that you want to share? Any music releases that are coming up by yourself that you want to share with our listeners, viewers?
Yeah. So, for myself, I actually have a EP coming out on Gold Digger.
Oh, good shit, dude.
Yeah.
On May 12th.
Hey, how many tracks, bro? Can you just?
2 tracks.
Oh,
That's
oh,
that's with like my homies Spacewalk and Chuck Shadow.
oh, dude,
Yeah.
you was Spacewalk? Okay,
Yeah.
hey, we're having him play in Riverside
Yeah.
in 2 weeks.
No,
You
dude,
should come out.
honestly, dude, I love that guy so
Oh, we
much.
got you, bro.
Honestly,
You
trust
trying
me.
to come through?
Trust
We
me.
got you.
Trust me, I love that guy so much.
Spacewalk
Anyways,
is out.
I digress.
Shout out Spacewalk.
Next up, after that, with the label, I'm gonna release the year 2 compilation for Thick Freakness. That'll be off on June 2nd. That's actually like 2 days before my birthday. That was very intentional because obviously it's very, very close to my birthday. But that'll be, it's actually like a surprise. You'll figure out who's gonna be on that fucking compilation. But it's gonna be a lot of really fucking cool people. Trust me.
Alright, for sure. We're looking forward to it, bro. We're gonna leave your social media information on the description.
Yeah.
So everyone can go ahead and follow you and stay updated on your music endeavors.
Yeah.
We appreciate everyone that tuned in to today's episode with our
thanks for
special
having me,
guest,
man.
Fantom. Yeah, for sure, bro.
Thanks for coming
No,
through.
I
Thanks
appreciate it.
No, I
for
appreciate
driving
it.
through.
Yeah, I know we've been talking for a while, like on the profiles, you know, trying to get you in.
No, this is a really cool conversation. Like honestly, like I don't normally have these like in-depth like industry conversations with most people. Like it usually like takes like a really like honest individual to actually have these conversations. So,
I mean, also too, like it's very hard to have this conversation with people that are just
Anyone.
getting into it too.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
I like to think that especially like Robert and ourselves, we've been revolving ourselves in this particular space in EDM for more than a decade.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like, and we've been DJing for quite a while. So,
Yeah.
you know, I think for me, it's always fun to talk
Yeah.
about this shit with other people
Yeah.
that have like that similar experience. Like
Yeah.
it's not that common to really come across people
No,
that
trust
have
me,
that.
trust me, I know.
You know, because like, you know,
Trust me,
a
no.
lot of the people that nowadays like you come across, at least like in my experience, a lot of times very new, like maybe 2-3
Yeah.
They
years.
just don't have the insight and like.
No, they don't. They really don't.
But it comes to time. It's,
No, it
all
really
comes to
does.
Time
No,
in
it-
the industry.
No, and that's reality. That's what I said at the beginning. Is like basically like honestly, like if you're not in it for the long run, like your heart's not in it.
And I think that's important as like all of us here, like just
Yeah.
to speak on it sometimes,
Yeah.
because like just letting them know like ahead of times is gonna like help them like just move forward quicker.
Yeah.
Like I think I really like when bigger artists really take on
Yeah.
younger artists or like just beginner producers, because like it shows like, oh, you really want to see people move,
Yeah.
you know. And like I think just you coming here and just talking to us about like shit, like how you release music, where you release music, like it's really helpful to like our audience and like just
Yeah, of
anyone that
course.
comes across, you know.
Yeah.
So appreciate you for coming out.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, and
no, thanks for having me, dude.
yeah, dude, and much wishes to your label, your music, you know, all the goals that you have.
It's only gonna get thicker. Trust me.
Hey, there you go. I fuck with that, bro. Yeah,
Pick with a Q, fam.
go ahead and follow our special guest today's episode. Thank you guys for tuning in to Spotlight here at Lose the Tempo. Make sure to follow us on our social media at Lose the Tempo, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. You know where to find us. If you guys dig today's episode, subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, and hit the bell alert button to stay notified because we drop every week. Podcasts, guests at tempos. That's what's coming up next with our special guest today. I'm really excited, bro. We got a great, we have a great list of bangers for you today.
Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna play some shit for you today.
Let's do it.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Let's do it.
Great conversation with our special guest, Fantom Freq. Go ahead and follow him. Links in the description. Follow the label. Follow our page for more announcements and episodes. We appreciate you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.
True.